It has also been one of the issues that bogs my mind because I do understand the difficulties in which many struggling parents faced trying to train their children. So I quite understand the different burden, sadness, regrets, because in the olden days, or before the advance of education in our country, traditionally, when a young man is weaned, all that the parents or family owes to him is to give him a piece of land where he cultivates and make his living, and then give him a wife. Family starts. That was the cycle. But this time is entirely different scenario because education is important, and we have advertised it. It's something everyone knows, and they will try to live up to that. Now, coming to the question of the current unemployed situation of our graduates, is something that, left alone, I will not leave everything in the hand of government, because government is not the answer to all problems. On one side, of course, we know that there are a lot of, that's why we'll talk about corruption again. In the past few years, or past years, politicians have stolen lots of money, took overseas. We try to bring back this funding. Even when they say they have brought back the money, we don't know where the money is. Okay, that is one take. On the other hand, there are also those internally where government have discovered stolen funds within the country, and where these funds were recovered. Why can't government set up what I call an SME program? So even if you are not able to create industries that could have generated employment massively for our youths, graduate youths, you can at least encourage them by advancing them with little loans, small interest loans, as the case may be. That's on the side of government and stolen fund. But also, within the private sector, I think the well-meaning Nigerians can come together or can bring out programs. There are a lot of companies where they're making billions of naira yearly as profit. If they really mean it to help the youth of Nigeria, dedicate 10% of your annual profit towards the same SME, and then give it to a bank, advertise it, whereby the bank will supervise the funding, and then encourage young people who have good business plans to apply. And when they meet up to the scale, they advance funding under the bank's supervision. This, to a large extent, will help to reduce the level of unemployment in the country, and also encourage our youths. Because if we are looking at government to create the jobs needed, or government injecting purposes to the private sector for them to do it, we cannot do anything. And every year we have more graduates entering the unemployed market. It's become very frustrating. And like I said, many of these graduates are the sole bread future winner currently and in future of their families. And if we are not trying to do something to be able to help them, then we are putting our country in a very dangerous state. I will not wind this question without mentioning the fact that the male graduates are the ones who are currently suffering more because they have nothing to give. I mean, you know what I mean. The young women, many of them, even the banks will prefer to employ girls as against boys. And because the girls are marketers who go to market there to get funding for them. I have heard of this several times. And they tell them, do whatever way you can to bring in money, credit, as they call it, or deposit. Deposit, that's what they call it. And so this is part of the things we have always seen. But like I said, there are a lot of young men out there, young graduates who are willing, ready, able to take the bull by the horn and charge their own course. All they need is just encouragement. And that encouragement can come both from the governmental sector and also the very big company. Look at MTN or Globalcom or the oil companies. They make fat profits yearly. In our own little scale, the New Nigeria movement, we are looking at that sector to see what we can do to launch the SMA in different states, but it's still all part of our plans that we've not onboarded yet. And when that is done, of course, our members will be informed, and the youths of Nigeria will definitely get to know about that.